The big question for me is, can Cristiano Ronaldo cope with back-to-back games, and not just any back-to-back games? First of all, obviously a Champions League game of this magnitude for a Man United team that is just starting to get a bit of momentum, but also back-to-back games after a game like that at Leeds United, at Ellen Road. You know, the weather was terrible as well. And this is the way that Leeds United play. Whenever I watch a game with them, regardless of what the result is, for the opposition, I feel like it does take a little bit out of them in their next game. Can he deal with that kind of an intensity in a game? 85 minutes he played against Leeds, and then go back to back and play against Atletico Madrid and offer up the quality that they need. What do you think, Hugh?
Thing is, he can deal with playing that number of games and that number of minutes. But what is the level of performance that you get from Cristiano Ronaldo? Is it his absolute best? Should he have been managed better through to this point in the season, not just by Ralph Rangnick, but also Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Because I've said from the start, they need him to be at his best at the business end of the season. It's going to be a great Champions League tie, but Cristiano Ronaldo, and I said it before, I don't think he should have started against Leeds. I think he should have been held back like some of his teammates were, because this is the game, the Champions League. This is the tournament that Manchester United, in many ways, will be focused on winning. It will be a very difficult task, but if you're going to do that, you need Ronaldo at his best.
It's a strange kind of thought process here, because I guess you've got the fact that you need to be in the top four, you need to be playing Champions League football, full stop. But you also want to be in a tournament to go and win it. Were they looking at this and going, look, we need to focus on momentum here and don't worry about the Champions League and it will be what it will be? Is the focus actually deep down on the Premier League and getting into the top four? Because of course, they need that. They need the finances of that. So do you think that actually deep down, the focus isn't really on the Champions League, it's on the Premier League?
I mean, deep down, the focus should be on the Premier League and finishing in the top four, because it's highly unlikely that Manchester United will win the Champions League, and it's a lot more likely they can finish in the Premier League's top four. But actually, if you're going into both games and you think, what's my best chance of winning both of them? I think maybe Marcus Rashford, as I said last week, could have started that game against Leeds. I think Ronaldo could have come off the bench and still scored those goals late on to win Manchester United the game, and had a lot more energy in reserve to take into the game against Atletico Madrid. They could have won both games and built momentum and saved Cristiano Ronaldo. And that's all I wanted. I wanted the best in every single regard for Manchester United, my team, of course. But I still think they're going to have a difficult game against Atletico.
The manager on the opposition, of course, Diego Simeone, one of the brightest, most exciting, villainous characters when it comes to the Champions League. A lot of talk about him being at the end of the road now for Atletico. He has achieved so much at that football club, but there's still that one trophy that does seem to elude him. Of course, he's lost two finals with Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. I personally believe that this kind of does feel like it is possibly the end of the road. I think the style of play that he undertook with that team and had so much success with, I mean, even last season, let's be honest, it feels like he's struggling to recreate that now. And I think he also struggles with, becoming that little bit more open, having that bit more possession-based football. And I think that's why you've seen Atletico Madrid be so patchy this year, because Suarez has lost his legs a little bit, and although there are superstars all around him, and Suarez still scores the goals, otherwise he's struggling to find the answers a little bit, and you do just wonder if it's time for a new challenge for himself. That said, though, I guess we kind of go into a game here where you still know that he can pull a victory out of his hat at any moment in time. Do you feel like it's the end of the road for Simeone, or is this the last dance for Simeone?
I do. He's taken the team as far as he can, as far as I'm concerned. It was fantastic to see them win La Liga last year, just about getting over the line in the end. But it's time for fresh ideas. I think the squad's become a little bit disjointed. They've tried to bring in the best possible players that they can, but now there doesn't seem to be a clear plan with that squad. Why were they brought? What was it intended to do? Who was meant to gel with who? And players have stayed at the club probably, having not really, I know they've won a league title, by the way, but they haven't really set the place alight. You think of Joao Felix, you think of Thomas Lemar, for example, players that came in for big money and haven't truly delivered. And Luis Suarez, who is coming, I think, towards the end of his career at the real top level, scored a wonder goal at the weekend. He can still do that. But his all-round impact on the game, of course, isn't what it used to be, as you probably would expect. And I think it's time for Simeone to go to a new environment as well. I think it's time that he freshened his ideas up. He looked at a new group of players, a new club, a new environment, and did something different with his career, because the game moves very, very quickly. There are new young managers coming in with different ideas. And maybe if he came away from Atletico Madrid, hopefully with that great reputation and history intact, having played there as well, before it sours, would be the right thing to do.
I agree with you, Hugh. This is the last dance for Diego Simeone, and I feel like he's still got a shock within him. And although I think most people, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, I think most people would probably go for Man United in this game because of Atletico Madrid struggling with their form so much. I actually think that Leeds game is a huge factor in this one, and I think Madrid are going to have enough to get themselves over the line. A couple of quick stats. I guess there will be goals in these games because you've got Atletico Madrid who've conceded 1.4 goals in every single Champions League game on average, and also expect a red card. In 5 of the 6 games in the group stage, there was a player sent off for one of the 2 teams. So expect a red card. We know what Atletico Madrid always do. I think this one could be tight, but I think overall Atletico Madrid might just pinch it.
I think this is going to be a tough tie for both sides, to be perfectly honest. I don't think either really exerts the control that they would need to in a competition of this level. It's an interesting tie for both. They'll both feel confident of going through. I think it will be about who can outwork the opposition. That's what it's going to boil down to. I think I would go with Manchester United just being favourites, because I haven't really been impressed with Atletico. I saw their defeat against Levante. I know they won 3-0 against Osasuna at the weekend, and that's a bit of momentum to take into this game as well. But actually, I think Manchester United have been building over the last few weeks, and even in the games that they didn't get results, there were large periods where they did dominate. There has been a little bit more rotation too, and I think it's a little bit more of a happy camp. So I think I'd have to go with Manchester United to have the advantage after this first leg.
Hi guys, James Allcott here from ESPN's Football Forecast. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and you want to check out more, make sure you subscribe to ESPN UK.